The other factors, of course, is financial. This is an area where you can control how much you spend, but there will be some substantial costs, of course, to producing vital signs. And they are research. You will have data collection and possibly purchase costs. Your publication costs will probably be for writing, design, translation, if that's required, photography, printing, and distribution. Most foundations also have a companion website for vital signs, so you may need to purchase writing, translation, and design for this as well. And then an event cost associated with reports release and your community consultation work. And again, I'd not say again, we did this in the form of a breakfast launch here at our foundation. A common place where foundations have cut costs is by not publishing a print report, and this glossy print report that we've seen over the past few years, but rather a lot of community foundations now are publishing only online, or more commonly by publishing their content as an insert to their local newspaper. And this is often a cost saving because there's in-kind donation that you might be able to get from your local paper. Overall, foundations that have published vital signs in previous years have spent as little as $20,000 and up to as much as $150,000. And I can tell you that that lower figure is certainly appropriate for us here on the Sunshine Coast. And that, of course, the trade-off for having a small budget is a lot of in-kind and a lot of going back to that first comment I made about human resources, lots and lots of people volunteering their time. And so in general, it's sensible to budget probably for around $40,000, depending on your situation, including project management. It's possible to spend much less in hard costs, but we don't want to underestimate the amount of time that goes into executing the project well. So really think hard about that. Let's look at some of the funding options. Here's how you can to generate your money for your budgets. First of all, grants from other foundations or granting organizations. And I'll say again that in our case, we were only able to publish vital signs for the first time 2 years ago because of a generous grant from the Vancouver Foundation that was available for smaller community foundations in BC to be able to do this. So that's just one example. Another one is donors themselves. Some of them are really raised to the occasion and are intrigued and really want to support this initiative in your community. You may also have in your discretionary funds portfolio the ability to free up a little bit of money there to allow you to do vital signs. But I think the real key is the next one, and that's sponsorships. And sponsorships, particularly around things that are visual, like your report, your print report, hosting your public forums and your launch events are also very attractive sometimes to sponsors. And I know in our case, it was our major way of raising funds, and it's becoming that way with a lot of community foundations. And I would suggest you take a look at the Victoria Foundation's report for 2010, and you'll get a bit of an idea of one really, really major sponsor who came to the table for them in their case, and they were able to raise 100% of the cost of their work this year for their Vital Signs report, and it really is an awesome report. And lastly, let me just say, maybe you've got some funds in your operating budget that you can put towards Vital Signs. So Sarah, I think I'm going to leave it at that for now and come back to you, and I'll come back a little later and ask you to talk about national coordination and support.
That's great, and I assume we're going to have a number of questions at the end about funding, and I hope, Don, that you'll get a little bit of a chance to talk in more depth about your own experience, because I think part of why I've asked you to be on this call with everyone is because you already signaled that nervousness, and I think it's helpful to have you talk a bit about what precisely it took. Particularly, I think we can get caught up on the costs and printing and the design and all of that stuff. But we have gotten more and more strategies for limiting the hard costs. But there's still a significant time cost, and maybe you'll get a chance to talk, even in more detail about that.
We actually did it for less than $20,000. So I'd be really happy to talk to either today on in general, or anyone who wants to call me at some point in time about that, Sarah.
Yeah, I suspect that that's what we're going to end up talking about primarily at the end of this call. I'm going to take the group now through what CFC's role looks like, what kind of support we're able to provide, and what the national initiative looks like. CFC's role is to support our members who want to publish vital signs and to help them do it well. We play a role in ensuring that the program maintains high standards and is promoted nationally. We build the profile of the program through national media, and we assert the role of community foundations in leading vital signs, and we spread the benefit of vital signs to community foundations that are not directly participating. Many of you will recall that beginning in 2008, Vital Signs launched a brand new brand for our movement, All for Community, around community vitality, and we really see Vital Signs as a key part of that strategy. So more specifically, here are some of the ways that we try and achieve those goals. We have a Vital Signs manual that all participating foundations are able to use, and that's really helpful to get you up and running. We provide training and coaching, and this orientation workshop is an example of what those look and feel like. In addition to this one, we have a series of webinars on different aspects of the program, and Dawn has already alluded to a couple of those. For example, there are webinars that take place through the winter and spring on research and data, marketing and communications, indicator grading, and on integrating vital signs into the rest of your foundation's work and evaluation. We also provide ongoing support for your just-in-time training or coaching needs as you implement vital signs, and that's really just fancy words for saying that, at this point I've now worked with, about 25 foundations to do their vital signs reports, and I think there's probably only 2 or 3 that I haven't at some point had a phone call from to say, ugh, we have a decision to make about this and we're not sure what to do. We've had this go wrong, we're not sure what to do, our board, whatever. And so I am a resource to just talk through some of the decisions and challenges and the problem solving that inevitably comes up during the program year. We also offer a Basecamp site for vital signs, and I suspect that some of you on the call are involved with Basecamp websites for other aspects of CFC's programming, but some of you aren't. And so Basecamp is basically a website that you are subscribed to, and that's a tool that Community Foundations of Canada uses to post, post documents you might need, share messages. It has the capacity for members of the Basecamp to share messages with each other. So it's a collaborative online space. We also have documents produced by participating foundations there that can be shared. So for example, if you're looking for a work plan or a press release or a request for proposals related to vital signs work, you can find those sorts of things produced by your colleagues in prior years posted on the Basecamp site so that you're not reinventing the wheel. To support the promotional work being done at the local level, we provide national communications tools. So there's a frequently asked questions that can be easily adapted and used locally. We do template news releases, etc. We're in the process of, and I think this year we're going to really make sure we get this done, of producing some evaluation tools that everyone can use if they want to. For the last 4 years, we've published a national vital signs report that is released in conjunction with the local reports. This report draws on data that is national, but in the same topical theme areas, and there's a connection between the data or mirroring of the data that's in the national report and that which is in the local report. And most of you will know that we publish this report annually as an insert in the Globe and Mail.